If you want a quick summary on what's going on the US VSHOJO controversy and everything catching fire, you're in the right place. It all started when Iron Mouse made a video entitled Why I Left VSHOJO. The most prominent tweet summarizing it seems to be this one made by a Lara VTuber, which says, Iron Mouse is leaving VSHOJO. Allegedly, VSHOJO owns Iron Mouse a significant amount of funds, and over $500,000 to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I have some information I've been holding on to that I will share on stream. We have much more. Well, just this tweet was made July 21. The context of the $500,000 that VSHOJO withheld were donations originally made in the name of the Immune Deficiency Foundation that Iron Mouse got, and it seems that allegedly VSHOJO didn't send money. Following that, a 2-5 was made to gather money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation, and it has already got $1,200,000 USD. And you can see some familiar faces on the top donors like VTube Studio, VGen, Gamer Subs, and others. To all that positive reception, Normal says, to my community, I love you all dearly and thank you. But that was just a start, as Fruit, Kuro, Michi, and Emily have all removed VSHOJO from their names on Twitter. And that all happened on July 21. It was really on fire, everyone leaving all at once. And following all this mess, K-Son made a stream interviewing with VSHOJO's GP Brain CEO, and someone on Twitter made a room translation to the important bits and made it TLDR. So they highlight important bits as VSHOJO's JP and N are separate branches, and the CEO says that they don't know, but was either reinvested or was lost due to incompetency. The staff were paid first. GP staff had a 50% pay cut. K-Son hasn't been paid since September 2024, even on deals that should go directly to her. GP didn't know about Iron Mouse's situation until a few weeks ago. VSHOJO essentially gambled and ran on hope that new talent would save them financially. Finances are held by EN and eventually dispersed to GP branch, allegedly. K-Son is leaving VSHOJO today. For the most part, GP had zero idea what was going on in the main EN branch. Extremely unlikely that debt to ever be completely repaid. Unsure if the company will even exist after this. And also, as a Lara VTuber points again, K-Son reveals she was already planning on leaving VSHOJO at the end of the month. She goes on to say that VSHOJO has not paid her a significant amount of money. K-Son says that she was continuously led on and felt ashamed she believed in people who only had interest in their money. K9 Kuro then made a tweet saying, I didn't want to say anything until it's finalized, but since people keep making assumptions, no, I'm not staying here. I've already submitted a leave contract and had that meeting 11 days ago. The only reason I still have the VSHOJO brand logo on here still is because they have to remove it themselves. As an associate, you cannot remove it yourself. Same with every one other member. In any case, I'm just waiting for the contract to be all fulfilled and done, but I guess I'm an indie now. Following that, he also made a stream titled, Why Leaving VSHOJO Was the Best Decision I Ever Made. And there he basically announces that he's going indie, clarifies that previous birthday merge will still be fulfilled since it wasn't VSHOJO branded, and that future merge is sorted through a new provider. He also discusses issues within VSHOJO, that in the second year there were fewer collaborations, unfulfilled promises, and non-payment of sponsorships and merch earned. He also reveals that the bug merchandising for 2023 was only paid out in June 2025. He also says that discovering allegedly misuse of charity funds made living inevitable. He expresses frustration with delays, requesting a termination contract of over 10 days despite assurances it would be processed immediately. Fruit made a tweet on July 22 and says, "My heart aches for the talent and the hardworking talent staff who work tooth and nail to let us be heard." And continues, "I've still been struggling to mentally process everything that when I think about it all, my mind goes blank." And then she continues, "I've left VSHOJO. As a day one talent, it is truly heartbreaking that it has come to this. I had the opportunity to achieve so much in the last 4 or 5 years. I'm really anxious about becoming indie, but I'm going to continue doing what I set out to do and make fun things. The people, whether talent or staff, were the best part about the company. I had the pleasure of meeting so many inspiring individuals. I hope we can cheer them now on together moving forward." And then shares Iron Mountain's certified for the Immune Deficiency Foundation that I showed previously. Emily also made a declaration saying, "Beyond broken and betrayed, but holding on to a semblance of hope that is the other talent that I've met and formed friendships with over this past 6 months. You guys are the real ones, and I love you so much. I'm so sorry you were all suffering silence for so long. As of today, I'll be terminating my contract with VSHOJO, effective immediately, and I'll be returning to being an independent VTuber and content creator. Nothing about my content will change, as I was indie for 18 years before signing VSHOJO, and I retain my IP. My love goes out to the talents. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for your continued support, as we look forward to the future." Kenya also made a stream saying, "I left VSHOJO," and there she announces her decision to leave VSHOJO, citing significant unpaid debt from the company, and says that she will be becoming indie. She also reveals that VSHOJO has not shipped her anniversary merchandise from May. She and her manager and attorney are working on resolving it. Fayback said on Twitter on July 22, "Looks like nothing changed between 2023 and 2025 in terms of how the org management moved. Couldn't and still can't say shit because of their god-awful NDA that it had to sign. I legally can't badmouth the company. But at least everyone now knows the reason why we left." And links a tweet with Beba and Silverveil when they left VSHOJO. Shy Lily also made a declaration saying, "Good thing I trust my gut feeling when VSHOJO tried to recruit me. The contract was riddled in red flags and basically legal robbery. This makes me sick to my stomach. Please, if you can, support Mouse and IDF." And links Iron Mouse is certified. Mint also made a declaration where she basically says that she initially worked with VSHOJO on a podcast, but not part of the agency, and didn't receive any revenue from the merch drop they had together. She decided with the desire to join a group. She prompted the idea of her own idol group to VSHOJO, and after pitching the concept, she officially signed as a member. Auditions were held for 2 additional members under the GP brand of VSHOJO. She knows that other talents were planned for later, but unrelated to her project. And she says that despite the lack of payment from merch sales, she remained focused on the broader vision, and that her 3D debut consort is still planned with strong support from GP staff, and that she said that the project never came to fruition publicly. Michi also made a video on how she's leaving VSHOJO. Perfect Melody also put out a statement and says, "I wish to make a statement, because I'm always anxious and struggle to find my word. But yes, I'm leaving VSHOJO. I was an OG talent, but my everything to this comp. But I'm beyond devastated at what happened, and I never in a million years thought I would be saying those words." And to answer all that, VSHOJO made an deployment. VSHOJO has failed, and I've mismanaged the company into the situation you're all witnessing. So today I am sharing the difficult news that VSHOJO is shutting down, and I take full responsibility for the decisions that led us to this point. I've been doing everything I can to fundraise and right the ship these past few months. But despite my efforts, we are in a worse position, and those I care about are now paying the price. Over the past few years, we raised around $11 million to pursue a bold, talent-first approach in VTubing, prioritizing creators and community over short-term profits. To achieve long-term sustainability, our funding went directly to our creators. through generous splits, debut investments, infrastructure, concerts, events, and staffing, all designed to support them. We also wanted talent to own their IP, which we knew was a unique creator-first approach for an agency. However, despite our efforts, the business failed to generate the revenue we needed to sustain that model, and eventually we ran out of money. Additionally, I acknowledge that some of the money spent by the company was raised in connection with talent activity, which I later learned was intended for a charitable initiative. At the time, we were working hard to raise additional investment capital to cover our costs, and I firmly believe, based on information available to us, that we would be able to do so and cover our expenses. We were unsuccessful in our fundraising efforts. I made the decision to pursue funding in all of its consequences. I am deeply sorry to all the talent, staff, friends, and community members who believe in our brand. You did not deserve this. Justin, also known as Cameron. To that disappointment, Iron Mouse answers, "You broke my heart, my spirit, and my trust." As Andrea says, "I've been trying to figure out what to say. Why do you keep dodging my messages and concerns? When I wanted to do one-to-ones, you kept dodging, or you gave me a short corporate answer. Even as I under immense pressure from the community for answers about the auditions, and I pleaded for a statement from your PR team. You told me I wasn't needed. You made a tiny video instead, looking like you were hurt and upset, saying sorry instead of meeting me one-on-one for my concerns. And I was left crying and frustrated. But like a fucking dog, I went back and happy to even get something from you because, oh man, boss actually answered me. You wanted one finally when you knew everything was crashing around you. Then debuting new talent and such, even after the community kept asking about it and kept waving it off and letting me take the punches. I smiled. I fucking burst it off and kept pushing the company because I was hopeful for new talents and bringing new people to help. Instead, I find out we were hiring people without input and poaching without even the idea of truly helping them, other than financial gain. We didn't even know who we were bringing in. You and the team told us just to take it. You and some people were really ready for me to be thrown under over and over. Even when Emily joined, I begged you to put out a statement regarding auditions before she announced her debut stream. You gave us a middle finger. Me and Emily had to put on a statement because your PR team wasn't fit for their job. I took it out. Why didn't we have to say anything at all? Why did I have to keep taking the fucking damage over and over? You were hurting me well before this. You know you have. I've been pushing a company so blindly who didn't even care for me. But I'm an idiot, and I keep believing. I was so excited for this. I spent sleepless nights dealing with constant harassment, and you spent money which you didn't even have without even warning us on God knows what. And you knew, don't even lie, you knew that money was for charity and was supposed to be placed to the side to be untapped. Where did $11 million go in less than 3 years even? What happened to all that money? I'm just really tired from all these years of trying to push for something that kept pushing me to the wolves. I was so stupid, but I was so excited. I really trusted you. We all did. Despite everything, I don't wish you any ill will. I just hope you find some way to make this right. Jason says, "Why didn't you let us know the moment you realized the situation? Why did I get the information 2 weeks ago, not from the company, but from my homegirl? Why did you lie to the GP branch a week ago that everything was good and taken care of?" Michi says, "We trusted you, and you knew how hard that was for some of us to do. Our communities, people who only ever do their best to support us and care for us, do not deserve this. This does not get 5 big booms from me." Kenya says, "I had a wonderful time while I wasn't there. So because of that, it hurts my heart a lot. My community and my friends don't deserve this. I don't expect you to do anything at this point. Just please don't do this ever again to anyone." Giga says, VSHOJO didn't just fail. Many staff and leadership failed VSHOJO. Instead of using talent money on operating costs, the company should have shut down or at least informed us, but used us as cash cows to keep things afloat while keeping us in the dark. You chose to keep the expensive sinking ship going and felt that it was fine to keep paying out your staff you were friends with instead of putting talents first. You've made it abundantly clear that you are okay with not prioritizing the debts onto the talents who made this company what it is. While saying you'll take full responsibility, it's the correct thing to do. I also think there are many others in the company without the same positive intent as conveying this message. In every leadership staff call ahead, you sat back and didn't say much while had other staff members that were clearly the ones doing the actual work to be ones to speak. We know which leadership work on our contracts. We know which leadership constantly sat in VC playing games with staff instead of work on time-sensitive tasks for events and debuts. We know which staff consistently leak information about talent. As the CEO, we're the final check. Yes, but this means that I'll check before you fail too. And Coral posts a meme saying, "Oh, I still don't get it." Tyler also says we would be able to do and cover our expenses. Rather, we've somehow been bleeding 11 million while maintaining the most successful and biggest VTuber roster in Western EN's history, and figure that I'll just go away on its own. Oh, to spend bullshit so confidently. What a weird way to say. So basically, I've been sitting ducks while watching the ship sink. And instead of sitting down with the talent and explaining the situation and finding ways to fix and use this model, we went about hiring more and bigger talent to rake in more profits to cover our competence. Oh, I also had no idea what the 500k was supposed to be for and never questioned it or checked the books. Oopsie. I feel so freaking terrible for your former talents. On that note, Iron Mouse makes a video that is basically stream clips titled My Next Chapter, where she mentions plans for a duo debut with fellow VTuber Giga, including joint lore expansion, merge song covers, and planned storylines. And retweeting that statement, Veva says, "And so our NDAs are now void." Why I love VSHOJO. Back in 2023, VSHOJO tried to bully me into one of the most predatory contracts I have ever seen. When I tried to ask more about it, their COO got extremely hostile with me and refused to answer any of my questions, and so I had to hire a lawyer in order to get some clarification. During the talks, it became clear that VSHOJO would rather let me go than take class away from me. They were ultimately wanting me to give up more than half of all my sponsor revenue and over 60% of all merch sales. All I asked from them in return to not take a cut of the sponsor that I was getting through Epic. A set cut was already being taken. They said no, they want it all, and so I asked to leave after being treated like I was disposable in our town. They basically made it seem like they were my employer and that they are the reason for my success. That I owe them and that I should be happy to give them my money. In order for them to leave, they demanded I sign an NDA that prevented me from speaking to any of the other talents about it. I could not say why I was leaving. I could not say what the terms that I was saying no to were. Even got in trouble for advising them to hire their own attorneys. They would watch my streams, read my Discord, and then threaten to sue me. If I said anything that hinted towards how I really felt about the company, I was threatened with a lawsuit. Another one of their leave terms was that they will announce both me and Silver on the same day in order to minimize the damage to their company. Their COO has begun to push a narrative on 4chan and other social media that I'm leaving because I plan to join OTK and that both me and Silver are troublemakers who were letting us go. Later, I found out that Yanners wanted to leave around the same time due to also being unhappy with the contract. I was told that she couldn't, and it did not fit the narratives that they were pushing internally and externally. The amount of hate we've gotten after leaving, over leaving from fans calling us greedy bitches, people saying we're abandoning our friends and tossing aside the company because we're successful enough, it was fucking painful. Not being able to say anything sucks. I only found out I didn't get paid for any of my sponsors after I had already signed the NDA. After 2 years, I have still not been paid back fully. To add insult to injury, they also demanded I had to pay them back 10k for some of the anniversary assets, which when they sent me back months later were half finished. Despite all of that, I had immense faith that the company has gotten better over the past 2 years. I assumed they rewrote their contracts after losing 3 people due to them and seeing all the new talent join. Clearly, this was not the case. Now for some fun facts. Their company lawyer has an expired law license. He literally does not practice law anymore, yet he was our point of contact for any legal help we needed. They actively pitted us against one another during my time there and compared our success to others. They tried enforcing streaming schedules so that our view count would look better due to less overlap. They would always shit talk other VTubers. They literally would spend company money to get a tiny dig at that, especially Hololive. They literally believed rent-free gun runs had. They were convinced Hololive was over when they signed Kason and Natsuna. Our previous talent manager got ghosted for 6 months by Gun, told not to do any work for us, and then got fired for not doing anything. During this fiasco, we weren't able to get any assistance. MTD got reprimanded for being creepy to us. Got told not to message us, figure. I have proof for other streamers attending their IRL parties that MDT would actively shit out after I left the company. To paying me the worst lying mess. Don't know why you're acting innocent on Twitter pretending you weren't aware of anything. Can't wait to see all this shit that comes out about you because there's loads. But those are my stories to tell. Thanks for reading, and thanks to those who stuck around between then and now. Thank you for giving me, Silver, and Nia the benefit of the doubt when needed it the most. And the understands for. MTD had the audacity to talk shit about you to my face and I hard the year and we all left. Invented you as some kind of conniving, greedy mean who was in my ear and manipulated me into leaving VSHOJO. Just because you wanted me to join HOTK because her boyfriend sold as part of the org, or for personal gain or some shit. He got uncomfortably close and up in my face and was like, come on, I know the real reason you left. I know it was because of they. He talked you into it, etc. And it was infuriating. I know he spread that same shit to other staff, talent, and other industry people. Seeing one of my closest friends get dragged through the mud like this for years was awful. He did absolutely nothing and had so much shit flung at you just because they wanted to push the narrative to protect their company. For him to act like he's completely blameless is insulting. He's a creepy motherfucker and there's a lot more obviously, but a lot of it is also not my story to tell. And Yenner's also put a statement saying, I'm so sorry I'm still sick, so I gotta take today's string off. But I wanted to express how thankful I am to everyone for all the support. Not just me, but for everyone who's had to deal with this painful situation. It's heartbreaking they had to go through so much undue stress caused by the people they trust. I wish them all the best, and I know they will go on to keep doing amazing things and have many brighter opportunities awaiting them. It was scary, but I'm immensely grateful and relieved to have finally been able to speak out a lot that has waited on me for the past 2 years. It was incredibly difficult for me. That left me feeling so isolated and mentally burned out for a long time. I know many others have felt the same way, and my heart goes out to them. To be met with the overwhelming amount of understanding and support from everyone when I thought I'd never be able to talk about this or have any kind of closure has helped me so much. Thank you for hearing me out and being so chill. It means a world to me. It's been an awful time for a lot of people to say the least. I hope that on the bright side of things, all of this coming to light can create meaningful change going forward. I think the VTuber community come together like this to lift each other up has been so nice to see. Please send the former VSHOJO talent and everyone affected by this all the love you can. And please donate to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Thank you guys for everything. Let's look forward to way more fun times in the future. And Matera can answers. Thanks for being so kind to me. I'm glad you can finally get the healing that you deserve. And Yenna's answer. Thank you so much, Miss Matera. Your kindness means a lot to me. Much love. And I'm wishing you all the best for what's ahead. Please take care. And this is a huge mess that happened. I hope you were able to get a grasp of what happened. Don't forget to leave a comment and see you next time.